Unfortunately, I can see you, but let me introduce myself. I'm Andrii. I'm delivery manager at Innovecs company. I have been working for Innovecs for more than a half a year. And basically, for today, I'm going to be presenting some, I hope, useful information about delivery management role, expectations, and how to become a delivery manager. And of course, not a simple step how to be in that particular role. So let me please share my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Yeah, so thank you very much for sharing. So for today's we're gonna be talking about the delivery management, about the value, what value delivery manager ensures, and how basically this role influence and leverage organizational sustainable development and growth within the company projects and portfolio. So specifically, today after me, we're gonna be having a call with Tetiana. She will describe more about what responsibilities and what kind of accountabilities is pretty much preferable for delivery manager. But for my presentation, I will highlight exactly the vision, what is expected from delivery manager, and what needs to be covered by this particular role. So can we please move to the next slide? So basically, I'll manage this. So who is delivery manager and how this role is usually perceived within this organization? Specifically, delivery manager is just a kind of combination of business leadership, of project management, process management, operation management, and some technical profound guidance on exactly how the processes are executed and what technologies are involved into the business and how basically we engage our clients and what we can do for our customers in terms of technical perspective. So specifically, delivery manager is pretty much versatile and unique role that covers a lot of multilateral directions. First of all, is associated with business engagement. This is the first role, the first phase, basically the focal point of contact that is seen by customer when meet with, after of course, sales representative or alone with sales representative when the customer meets someone from the company during the contract negotiation or at least the pre-sale process or the first call or something like that. So it's just a focal point of contact. Responsibilities and authorities of delivery manager are pretty much different within the companies basically for all the markets specifically. So it's similar in some contexts, but it might differ. They may be pretty much distinctive depending on the organizational context. Coming from the most essential responsibilities and authorities that are set in front of the delivery manager and that are expected to be done by delivery manager, of course, is to first of all, ensure a smooth client journey within the organization itself and within the product or within the project that needs to be executed. So specifically, first of all, is to ensuring a full-scale and amazing customer voyage with the company and with delivery manager. The second responsibilities and authorities are set with the before the delivery manager, in front of delivery manager, of course, is to engagement. Engagement of different stakeholders, not only the customers, project sponsors, organizational C-level management, organizational middle-level management, different organizational support, outward, cross-organizational support, and so on. So it's pretty much diverse in terms of communications and whom we approach, who we engage in, and so on. So basically, it's communication engagement. This is the second corner delivery manager responsibility, I would say so. Third is the project savvy and the project intelligence and project management intelligence. Still, as a delivery manager, we do highly operate in the context of operational activity. And first of all, of course, in the project field, project management field, perhaps program management field. Not a portfolio, but for the next step of evolution, I will speak about the evolution step of delivery manager a bit later within this presentation. But program and project manager is what is usually covered by this particular role. Fourth, in terms of responsibility, again on a high level, is the technical guidance. Specifically, a lot of expectations are set for the delivery manager in terms of technical leadership, how basically we engage with our stakeholders, what technologies can be enhanced, can be rectified in case of the need, of course, to be changed, altered, and so on. So basically, a delivery manager can be acting in the role of a technical advisor, a technical counselor, if you will. So specifically, this is also kind of responsibility for delivery manager. Of course, operational activity, invoicing, creation of different kind of invitations, creation of different letters and tickets to so different stakeholders approaches, different stakeholders, some operational activity, communication, approval, and so on and so on and so on. So, of course, also it's cooperation with different inward and outward organizational departments within the structures. So, yeah, this is also communicating and addressing the issue with the finance, with marketing, with PR, with HR, with recruiters, and so on, so on, so on. So basically, you're building trust between an organization and flawless conversational activity, flawless communication between different functional departments in order to ensure absolutely enthralling and impeccable journey either for customer or for the person who's joined the organization, future employee. And the last, basically, of course, is reporting and oversight and process tailoring. So a lot of assigned to delivery manager, and given that, it's pretty much interesting role in terms of getting things done. So he or she needs to fulfill expectations set before or set prior to this particular position. Influence of basically competences. What competences are pretty much necessary and crucial, I would say absolutely underlying competences for a delivery manager is to be very much sophisticated in terms of project management trends. It will be just pretty much immersed in the business domain, how exactly the business develops, how it needs to be executed, what are the main trends, what are sophisticated technology, how the product is evolved and so on and so on and so on. And the last is, of course, the technical. So basically, we will be talking a lot when saying about the delivery manager about three main competences: project management, process tailoring, business domain understanding, profound business domain acknowledgement, and a third is a technical guidance. Basically, this is all covered by delivery manager within this role. How the role emerged. So specifically, you see, there were a lot of conversational activity, and given that our evolution pace, our evolution sustainability is pretty much versatile and is pretty much boundless, a lot of organizations expected to have one person who could combine multiple roles and acting as one single point of contact and delivering exceptional results for the business and for the customer, combining absolutely unique set of skill set required for this position to cover it. So, how it's originated? Basically, it's originated from some kind of management. As you see, a lot of fields came from the management and emerged from exactly the management style, not specifically the project and not necessarily the program management, but still from the management of side of the business. And given that, project managers are more concentrated, of course, for delivering the project within preset constraints, for instance, budget, for instance, schedule, for instance, scope, for instance, quality, resources, and risk, and so on. Delivery managers are more kind of say profound in getting a high-level understanding of what business is expected and need, rather than delivering the project within these preset constraints. Of course, the project manager also is interested in getting the best result for the company, since the organization receives some crucial benefits, revenue or reputations of value, and so on and so on and so on, after the project are released, after the project are completed, and so on. But anyway, delivery manager is the person, the companies identified the need of having some kind of person who can combine and ensure effective and efficient business engagement at the outset of cooperation with the customer by ensuring absolutely seamless cooperation with this customer throughout the end, and not the end of the project, but the end of or cessation of the entire engagement. So specifically, once the project is completed, it means either successful or not successful, the project was propitious or the project was inauspicious, I mean, it was delivered successfully or not. The role of the project manager is to initiate and commence another project or a set of projects or program and so on. For delivery managers to ensure long-term cooperation between the customer, themselves, and an organization as one single unit, ensure inextricable coherence and cohesion between organization, business, customer, C-level management, middle-level management, and so on. Ensure current company's growth. The challenges that I said before the delivery management is a modern position, of course, is to how efficiently engage the customer, how to ensure absolutely best and unique expertise for delivering absolutely exceptional results for the business. I mean, impeccably exceptional results for all the businesses. How to, within this competitive market environment, absolutely rigorous market environments, how to remain committed to ensuring absolutely the superior quality, absolutely superior quality of relationships, quality of processes, quality of technologies, and so on and so on and so on. So that's exactly the challenges are being faced right now in front of delivery manager in the interim. Let's move on. For the next slide. So specifically skills that are crucial. Given that despite some slight difference between delivery manager and the project manager, predominantly, the vast majority of skills which are acquired by delivery manager somehow associated with those skills that are acquired by the project management position. So this is going to be people, process, business domain, and technical knowledge. People is how we interact with people, how we ensure in the smooth employees engagement within the organization, their active involvement, how we are prompting and fostering our employees to deliver unique results, to deliver absolutely superb and absolutely unquestionably qualitative products for our customers, for either internal or external, and so on. So basically, it's knowing of emotional intelligence, how we can influence our team, our crews, our squad to get things done, remaining buoyant, remaining positive, remaining productive and fruitful in terms of getting things done. So it's just, of course, about the process management, how we build our processes, how we enhance our processes, how we modify, how we improve, how we rectify, and so how we tailor our processes and streamline in order to get things done. Business domain, as mentioned, so basically, given that there are a lot of different spheres and technologies, for instance, fintech technology, gaming technology, supply and logistics, financials, high load, and so on and so on and so on. Understanding business domain appears to be essential for the delivery manager, and requires pretty much profound and deep immersion into the latest trend and understanding of comprehension of what business domain is, what needs to be done, what are the regulatory, what are the compliance, what are the laws, what are the interest, what is engagement, and so on and so on in the business. Of course, it's preferable technical knowledge. So it's really sometimes become pretty much crucial for organization to have a delivery manager with a solid technical background. So specifically, as the next, of course, step of evolution, and a lot of delivery managers used to be prior to becoming delivery managers, they used to be great software engineers or quality assurance engineers and so on. So having practical and applicable experience working with the technology, either by testing or developing the software, or reading sustainable code base, and so on and so on and so on. So technical knowledge for a delivery manager position appears to be a crucial, I would say, a compulsory prerequisite prior to moving forward. But again, we will be talking a bit later about that not all companies are expected a delivery manager to be a prior developer or engineer or quality assurance engineers, but still, great grasp of technological and technical experience are vital for delivery manager to become successful in its role. Moving on to the next slide. So let's concentrate more on people management. So what basically key concept or key cornerstones for the people management? Of course, is the team building. Our responsibility to build a cohesive, coherent, collaborative team that used to ensure a great sustainability and great results throughout the stages of development, throughout different activities that appears to bring the most intrinsic value to our customer, to bring inevitable results, of course, great results, liberation customers and organizational potentials. So first of all, it's the ability to create together right people in the right time and ensure the smooth cooperation between each other. So it's one of the crucial cornerstones. Is work with communication predominantly appears to be the main instrument of delivery manager and project manager. Communicate, build the team, receive feedback, provide feedback, acknowledge feedback, approach customers, approach the employees, reach out to different stakeholders, groups, and so on, so on, and so on. So communication is pretty much vital. I would say it's prerequisite for the delivery manager to become successful, and not even successful, just to do the job in a normal way. Adaptive leadership. So given that we are facing different challenges in our world, specifically our world is irreversibly changing. And change become inevitable. We have to learn how to embrace this particular change, how we can alter some, how we can respond to this alteration, either accidentally or deliberately happening with our organization, the project, the program, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So basically, adaptive leadership is the ability to of delivery manager to be agile and flexible, and ability to react accordingly to the situation being faced, being experienced. The situation can be pretty much formidable, and otherwise they can be pretty much propitious for delivery managers. They can leverage the situations in order to seize the opportunity, not to squander a chance, but to seize the opportunity and to do the best result for that. Adaptive leadership, of course, requires delivery manager to be flexible and understanding what concept, process, and can be applied here, and what we can employ in order to ensure delivery of greatest results. Emotional intelligence, absolutely vital skill, ability of delivery manager to perceive, understand, and manage emotions of other people, or optimize the general emotional flow or emotional atmosphere within the group itself. So it's ability to understand, perceive, and sometimes manipulate people's emotions in order to get satisfaction by both sides, satisfaction of and contentment of employee, of organization, of the customer, and so on and so on and so on. Conflict resolution. Each day, particularly, we face every conflict. As the developers and as the quality assurance engineers or any other people, we can face a conflict which is sometimes deliberately intimidated. So you do not need to be afraid by the word conflict. Conflict, which can be a great synonym for it, absolutely applicable in here, is a constructive disagreement. So basically, I do disagree with you because, and I have a rationale behind why I do disagree with you. So it's called a constructive disagreement. This is a conflict. So disagreements between two sides. Each day we usually do stuck in a conflict resolution, and our expectations of delivery manager ability to mitigate the situations, ability to give, ability to oversee the conflict flow, and to efficiently assuage the resentment of different sides in order to reach out a collaborative state. So we start with the disagreement. Conflict, of course, flows naturally, but in order to avoid any not constructive disagreements, or as we really can call it, clashes between the different group of people. It's a greater skill of delivery managers to step in timely and basically anticipate the conflict development and prevent any fires between and any kind of clashes, serious clashes between employees and the group itself. So it's pretty much crucial for people management. For process, there's of course application of our methodologies and frameworks. So delivery manager have to be a versatile expert in terms of understanding agile methodologies, predictive, basically both adaptive and predictive life cycles, and of course a development, software development life cycle. For instance, when we can use iterative, when we can use incremental, when we can use adaptive, when we can use hybrid, and when sometimes we have to use predictive life cycle, which is called waterfall, stereotypically. So basically, it's up to the delivery manager to figure out the best set of methodologies to be employed in the current situations, and how we can tailor our processes accordingly. So basically, whether it should be Scrum with XP principle, or we can use Kanban instead, or we can specifically use combination of both Kanban, Crystal, for instance, some elements of feature-driven development, and so on. So have to be pretty much adroit in that particular field. Understanding of a project, program, and portfolio management. Of portfolio management perhaps is not pretty much vital for delivery manager because portfolio manager is up to C-level management. Portfolio management is meaning optimizing a company's value stream, ensuring an sustainably increasing return of investment, and basically definition of scope of this particular portfolio and management of resources for portfolios. It's just more for high-level management. Program and project manager. Program is a set of closely associated projects between each other. So specifically when we do program, we consider projects that are really binding on each other. They're inextricably intertwined and associated. So specifically, this is called a program, set of mutually correlated projects. And of course, project manager. You can have a lot of projects, but they are not correlated with each other. There is no associations, there is no link between, there is no connection. So specifically, it's just called project. So you have a lot of projects, but you manage them. And most crucial, stakeholder engagement. You will have a lot of stakeholders, customers, customer representatives, C-level, middle-level management, financial department, recruitment, HR, architects, development team, outside people who may be affected by a project and by organizational activity, compliance, regulatory, law firms, financial institutions, and so on. So everyone who can be potentially affected or affect your organization or project development are your stakeholders. So you're communicating with absolutely diverse product group, project stakeholders group, different people with whom you might even know. So specific, but you also need to understand that in some cases you have to communicate with people who you don't even understand that could be affected. So specifically, you don't even perceive that they might be affected somehow by a project, but they will anyway. So this is a vital domain, basically business domain, what we are concentrating. And of course, a deep understanding of the business environment, we talked about it. Domain experience, specifically, it's your proven practical experience within some financial vertical, within some supply logistic vertical, gaming experience, CRM development, or something like that. So basically, you can be an expert in some particular field, and you can develop your career naturally from developer and quality assurance engineer in domain experience. Organizational process assets, environmental, enterprise environmental factor is used to face with these points, or how we can say it, instances. For instance, with organizational process assets, you do face every time. For instance, this corporate culture, behavioral, it's just apologies, more internal environment, enterprise environmental factor. So enterprise environmental factor like organizational culture, different sort of rules are applied by organization, external influences on organization, laws, regulations, compliance, and so on and so on. Else, in addition to this, is a technological factor. What do we do? What technology we apply? In which zone we work? In which domain? Which field we execute our delivery? And so on and so on and so on. Organizational process is policies, templates, and organizational requests that are employed in organizations. For instance, you might have a PMO in an organization, and in some cases, delivery manager can be subordinated to project management office, and in that case he or she basically has to respond and has to obey some organizational policies are set, some organizational templates needs to be filled. They have to obey that, they have to obey it, and they have to fill it out. Of course, organizational structure type, it can be functional organization. We don't have much authority in here, much responsibilities in functional structure. So functional managers are predominantly responsible for resource and utilizations and any particular activity within that field. And in addition to this, in the hybrid organization, specifically, project manager have some, delivery manager have more responsibility, more authority to commit to doing some activities. In project organization, it's almost ultimate accountability for the project manager to decide the basically programs, destiny, projects destiny, and so on. So basically, he's authorized ultimately to make the final decision, and so on and so on and so on. And of course, matrix, which is balanced organization. Predominantly, all companies have been interacting within the matrix structure. When you have a delivery manager from the one side as a the line manager, and functional manager can be the product side, specifically who dictate and stipulate requirements for development. Technical knowledge. So specifically, it's of course pretty much interested specific domain for developers and engineers who seeks for reasonable and natural development of their careers. So specifically, technological intelligence is pretty much crucial for delivery managers. So knowing these sort of questions, knowing how exactly and what technology can be applied in different situations, advantages and disadvantages of this specific technology, how basically anticipate or envision issues which may be caused by incorrect choice of technological set, or advisory for the clients, specifically how we can change some set of technology if they deemed inappropriate from the first side when meeting with the customer representative during the pre-sale call or any other activity. Acquired technical backgrounds, specifically how the people, basically how people how deep is their professional experience, how long they have been acting in some positions, for instance, quality assurance engineers or development managers or just the developers, and so on and so on and so on. So basically, it's pretty much impactful for the delivery management, for the growth into delivery manager. Ability to make judgments during pre-sale. You have to be pretty much sly, basically. Apologies for this word, but anyway, you have to be pretty much canny and shrewd during in terms of setting the right expectations of stakeholder and responding to these expectations. So specifically, ability to make great technical judgments throughout the pre-sales calls is pretty much impactful, since it will eventually result in getting this product, getting this contract done, or in terminating this particular contract. So during the first few conversations, it's pretty much crucial to establish a reliable show your expertise power, to establish absolutely reliable relationships by demonstrating the profound understanding and proficiency in technological domain. And tacit knowledge is exactly our knowledge which are acquired by our day-to-day work, by observing what other people have been doing, by sharing knowledge, by just beholding what is done by your teammate, for instance, pair programming, or just understanding how it was done by other person, conversations, and so on. So this particular knowledge can be learned and can be only acquired through the dense collaboration between each others. Basically, influencing.
Specifically, the influence, direction of influence, how exactly, what, with whom the learning manager interacts, how he or she ensures this particular interaction between different sides, who is involved in those communications, and so on and so on and so on. So specifically, direction of influences can be either upward, downward, sideward, outward. Upward, we communicate with the senior management within the organization. Downward, we communicate with the people who are subordinated to us, our teammates, our teams, other managers, and so on, and so on, and so on. Sideward, we communicate with our peers, delivery managers, program managers, engineer managers, software development managers, and so on. And outward, how we communicate with my throat, apologies, with outward organizations, for instance, different institutions, law firms, corporations, recruitment agencies, and so on, and so on, and so on. This is just a direction of influences. Stakeholders engagement, the most crucial side of our activity, as I mentioned earlier. So specifically, delivery manager have to identify stakeholders properly and duly, timely. So we need to identify, each time we identify new stakeholder, we need to figure out and determine who are our stakeholders, to clarify their expectations, what they expect for us to do, how they wish on this particular project, to manage their, not to engage their expectations, to involve them, to contribute to their expectations, to just keep them pretty much satisfied and contented with what we do. Once we identify stakeholder, we need to figure out empower, impact, authority, ability to make a decision, ability to make it to affect our project, expectations, requirements being set, and so on. So you actively work with your stakeholders, and you need to identify who they are and how we can content them, so satisfy them, how we can please our stakeholders, and how we can, in turn, and at the same time, how we can deliver the project efficiently, while satisfying our stakeholders. Determine expectations, as I mentioned, so we need to understand what our requirements are coming from stakeholders and how we can involve these particular stakeholders in the daily interactions, so that their requirements and expectations are satisfied or at least gradually met. Monitor. So basically, during our dense conversation, pretty much side conversation with our stakeholder in close cooperation, we need to identify any changes of mood of the stakeholders and understand any source of perhaps resentment, apoplexy, and so on and so on and so on. So we need to keep a close eye of our normal level of emotions of our stakeholders, not to step beyond this particular line of demarcation that can be irrevocable, and we can lose our stakeholders involved. So specifically, how we engage our stakeholders and how we communicate with them frequently, what kind of communication we do, what communication channel type we choose, how basically we leverage cooperation with our stakeholders. Project management, SDLC, software development lifecycle. So specifically, we are ensuring how exactly we are the steps, how we deliver in our project, what phases or what activities are involved in the software development lifecycle in order to ensure continuous and persistent ongoing delivery. Building quality. Building quality. So specifically, we are, as delivery manager, responsible for setting both intrinsic quality of product and processes. So basically, how our product is being delivered and how our processes are being implemented in order to ensure the most sophisticated and smooth customer experience and our in-place experience. I mean, the efficient project program and operational management. How we ensuring building quality into the product and the processes initially. The quality can be gained. Quality can be only built into the solutions and built into the product, built into the process, and so on, so on, so on. So basically, quality is pretty much intrinsic characteristic or trait, which is it's not nurtured. Basically, it's embedded into our culture, embedded in our mindset, and ingrained into our perception. So product quality needs to be built initially once the product is started. So we need to create our definition of done or set of principles or set of technological areas which we include, how well basically the team and the product owner understand the quality of the project and of the product and how it's ensured by the team. And the process. So specifically, we need to tailor absolutely smooth process. We need to be adhered to and abided by the entire team and other stakeholders. Risk oversight. So of course, as a project manager, we need to identify any potential risk or any potential disadvantages, threats or opportunities that can happen with our project. We have to be proactive and timely. We have to identify them pretty much sometimes even prematurely, but anyway, we really have to keep an appropriate timeline of this particular identification. So we need to be very much anticipating, so we have to be vigilant in terms of any risk that can potentially occur at some stages of the project and product operational development, how we can either mitigate, avoid, escalate, basically defer this opportunity, or how we can accept it anyway. So the full range of risk management, and in order to avoid any negative impact on our project and negative opportunity of occurrence. Monitoring, of course, so it's a little delivery managers. We're setting metrics and reports which we use to identify, of course, health of our project, health of our operational activity, health of our customers and organization, and then by which metrics we can basically see this, what we can notice at our metrics, and our actions which needs to be done in order to rectify the situations or somehow remediate it. Personal values. First of all, is the code of ethics of each particular project and delivery manager. Responsibility, basically, it just have to be inborn or innate, and it is really stipulated. So we have to be responsible or accountable for what we do. Respect, so we treat and deem people properly with a shared understanding of their professional and personal expectations and how we basically treat them appropriately, how we command our people, how we tribute to them, and basically how we admire and prize and value them. Honesty, we have to be pretty much frank, candid, sometimes straightforward in our communication to show our appreciations and to show honesty and transparency in our communications. So it's an aptitude to make an unbiased judgment. So we have to be detached, and at the same time we have to be very much emotionally responsive in order to get our work done, in order to help our people, help our subordinates, help our employees, and any others with whom we interact in, and our stakeholders to be satisfied with the results and activity. And fairness, we have to be, we have to demonstrate absolutely exemplary integrity. So specifically, we have to be frank, we have to be fair, we have to be honest, we have to be modest, and we have to be positive, always remaining positive in despite all the difficult situations being faced in our career and our life. This is a value we have to be possessed by a delivery manager. And basically personal traits. The last slide for me, personal traits, personal traits which needs to be possessed and acquired by delivery managers. First of all, delivery manager have to be perseverant and tenacious. So it's utmost our determination, it's utter commitment to getting absolutely unique result, to getting a great product done, to achieving specific value. We have to be quick and agile, so we have to to be pretty much proactive in our conversation. We have to be vigilant. We have to be prudent. We have to be intelligent, shrewd. We have to be astute. We have to be savvy, and so on and so on and so on. So we have to demonstrate basically how exactly we can act proactively in order to leverage the best opportunity or seize our chance. We have to be result oriented. Specifically, we have to provide some tangible result. So our results should have be seen by stakeholders. Otherwise, if stakeholders can't see anything of view our the results of our delivery, they will lose and they will start losing the trust to us. Like our credibility will be decreasing and might be planked. And the last is conscientiousness. So we have to be pretty much serious. We have to demonstrate our diligence, have to demonstrate sometimes our standards in getting things done and delivering unique results. As you see, delivery manager is pretty much complex and intricate role. So specifically, it combines a lot of aspects, and it's not very much easy, of course, to become a delivery manager. But of course, indeed, it's pretty much auspicious roles will give you a full chance to result in different directions. So basically, you can fulfill yourself and realize multiple directions like management, like business domain understanding, and acquiring this particular skill, technological advancement, cooperation, collaboration, communication, and so on and so on and so on. It's not a simple and plain role, but anyway, it's pretty much crucial for organization systems drive initially its excellence toward achieving the most advanced results. I would appreciate hearing any question from your side, and I will check my teams. If you have any or if something is misunderstood, please let me know. Try it on again. Unless we do have any question, I will hand over to my colleague Tetiana, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. I was pretty much pleased to deliver it for you. Have a lovely day ahead and a safe evening. Thank you.
Hello, welcome everyone. Andrii, thank you so much for introducing me. My name is Tetiana, originally from Lvivska Oblast, but last 10 years I live abroad. In 2012, I moved to Poland, to Warsaw, where I studied, gained my master degree, and 2 years and a half basically relocated to Germany, to Munich, where currently I'm living, and also employed with AWS, Amazon Web Services. In summarizing my professional background, I got 5 years of experience in technical recruitment, hiring different profiles throughout EMEA region, but basically in diving deep into the CEE market, that is Central Eastern Europe, business specifics to Poland, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. And today, we'd like to talk about the must-have skills delivery managers should have in their resume and career. So let's maybe first define which skills hiring managers are looking for, and then we will go into the recruitment perspective. Hiring managers definitely, the skills hiring managers are looking for depends on the industry and on the position. Recruiters need to define your your suitability for a company as well. And before submitting your resume into a company, I would really advise to read the job description carefully, especially pay attention to the basic requirements and preferred qualifications, and find keywords, position-specific keywords in a job description, and include them into resume. So first, what we are paying attention on, that is your experience with working with customer. It doesn't matter. This is internal customer or external customer. If you are expert in delivering value to a customer, there are a lot of different interpretations, honestly speaking. What does it mean, value, customer value? It can be lowering price, delivering what was expected or desired, delivering what was what customer paid you for. If you had an experience working with customer and you noticed that customer value is one of the basic requirements in the job description, mention that in your resume, and you can also highlight it in bold. Second feature, what we are looking for is team management. Some customers, some companies prefer candidate with, for example, experience with managing huge teams like up to 100, 150. Some vice versa, eager to find a candidate with experience in managing smaller teams like up to 10 or 15 people, but they didn't only pay attention on management or coordination of a team, but also if candidates are able to set objectives, manage performance, deliver constructive feedback, set career goals. If you did that in your experience, in your career, mention that step by step into your resume. Next one, what I'm personally looking for, that is the experience with project management. It doesn't matter if you delivered like small individual items or large multi-project operations. Project management, this is like a core for delivery manager. It will, if you have experience in working with project, would really recommend to include which tools and software you used. Also, what was the project outcome? If you managed, for example, to increase performance, efficiency, what was the percentage of it? Or vice versa, if you managed to decrease something, I don't know, cost, for example, or deliver value, specific value to a customer, mention that into your resume as achievement. Make your resume more data-oriented rather abstract-oriented. Stakeholder management, I would honestly, I would like combine these two features together, because without great stakeholder management, you're not able to deliver project to your customer. Your experience in effectively communicate with your stakeholders, build trust with your stakeholders, communicate the current update about the status of the project, and also challenges your team is struggling with. That would be as well the core of your project management and stakeholder management. Could you just switch to next slide? Okay, thank you. Next, what I'm looking for, that is delivering of IT solutions. You don't need to be the software developer to become the delivery manager, but definitely need to be technical savvy. You need to understand what challenges your team is struggling with. You need to effectively deliver the update to your customer about the technical status of your project. And also, we need to be able to effectively communicate with the other stakeholders at other business lanes. Lean and agile frameworks. This is something I'm personally as well paying attention on, but if you don't have any experience in lean management, probably you attended some courses. Maybe you completed some trainings, attended some webinars, include that into your resume. That will be a huge advantage. Next one, budget control. You will notice that some companies call it financial management, some commercial management. Here, what we mean by that, this is your experience in balance, cost, and value. Also, your experience in making up reports, financial reports for stakeholders and finance team, and also escalate issues to the financial team, for example, if it is needed, and deliver the project for your customer within the limited budget, which was already set previously at the beginning of the year. Communication skills, I combine them both with English, as if you are, for example, working on the Polish market, or if you are working on the international market, definitely pay attention where your customer is located. If you have a local customer, English on the level of B1, this communicative level will be enough. But if you are focusing on the EMEA customer or US customer, then your level should be at least on a B2, that is upper intermediate. If, for example, you would like to move further, not only to Poland, but to Germany, they advise to include the certification of your language proficiency. In Poland, it is not necessary. Communication skills, as we discussed, project skills already, project management skills or stakeholder management skills. Communication is important, as you need to be able to effectively communicate about the status of the project, and also your communication should be plain and efficient. What is great that all these skills we already discussed, team management, project management, communication, agile environment, they are not all must-have skills to become a delivery manager. I've divided these skills into two parts, must-have skills and preferred skills. And let's dive deep into them step by step. As for must-have skills, definitely that is project management. This is a core to become the delivery manager. If you have experience in product development, that would be a plus, but this is not mandatory. Stakeholder management, I think that this is like the part of the project management skills. Next one, team management. For example, you would like to become a delivery manager, but you don't have any experience in managing a team. What you can start with is to be a mentor, for example, for a new joiner, to be a coach, and then include this experience, this expertise in your resume. So at least officially you weren't the team manager, but informally you help the new joiner in achieving tasks and enroll them into the internal processes of a company. Tech-savvy background. As discussed before, you don't need to be the software developer to become the delivery manager, but you need to be technical savvy. You need to understand from technical perspective what your team is doing and what challenges they are struggling with. Communication in English depends as well on the market, but this is must-have to include into your resume, to highlight them, especially in bold, to make sure recruiters pay attention on. Preferred skills, I would think that this is agile environment. Definitely this is like something we all are looking for, but this is not a must-have skill. If you don't have experience in agile or some Scrum environment, at least mention about the trainings, webinars you attended. Some companies look for candidates with a degree in IT, specifically IT field or in business commerce. This trend is getting less and less popular right now, but I personally as well filled positions where hiring managers specifically seek for the candidate with a degree in IT field. Sales and pre-sales background. For example, if you started your career as a consultant, definitely this background will help you in better communication, negotiation, and also stakeholder management. That will be a huge plus for companies if you would like, for example, to join Amazon as well, like some McKinsey or Deloitte companies, I mean a consultancy, right, agency, McKinsey, Deloitte, Accenture, as mentioned, Amazon as well. These companies are looking for, preferably looking for candidates with consultancy background. If you have some certifications, include them in your resume and also make them bold to attract, keep an eye of the recruiter, as they're not mandatory, but that's definitely, this is a great advantage. Right now, let's talk about the possibilities of career paths to become the delivery manager. Great news is that there is no one road for career path to be a delivery manager. You can ideally, right, you can start from the software developer, then get some team management experience, project management experience, ideally support this project management experience in an agile environment, or maybe attend some courses in agile. And then this road is a green path for your delivery manager position. But there are a lot of other possibilities. Before setting up the bricks to become a delivery manager, think about the must-have skills we already discussed. First, team management, project management, and tech-savvy background. If you are a consultant, you can move into IT solution delivery coordinator, where you will get the technical background, and also you're moving to a solution manager. Here, you have a capacity to train yourself as a team manager and then become a delivery manager. Or, for example, you started your career as a QA engineer. You got promoted to a test manager, enhance your skills as a team manager, and moved into IT operation manager, green light for delivery manager afterward. Could you just, thank you. As well, you can build your career as a delivery manager starting from the sales or pre-sales background. You were the sales manager or sales specialist, got promoted into key account manager, then sales manager. And here, for example, if you have specifically sales environment, advice to move first to become the project manager, especially in IT field. Then you can be the delivery manager, but this is what we discussed. You need to technically understand what your team is doing. At least you need to have some courses or move into IT project management position. The same with the product owner, project manager, and project manager. Road is quite clear, quite efficient, just including main must-have skills you need to get. And probably the fastest way would be project manager, team manager, and delivery manager. It doesn't matter which experience you get, which background you have. There are a lot of possibilities to become a delivery managers, and especially right now, when you look at the market, you will see a lot of companies are hiring delivery managers, and a lot of companies are proposing traineeships for them, or we can get some sessions, refreshment courses to move into the delivery manager position. Okay, maybe let's right now dive deep into the Polish market, and we can discuss about the benefits, salary ranges, and companies are hiring for. I was looking for the data to find the position growth in Poland, but unfortunately I couldn't find any report. In US, this position, delivery manager position, is expected to grow in a couple of years for 12-14%. And in UK, it's approximately for 7-8%. This is in a couple of years. I think that probably Polish market is quite similar to the UK market. When you open, it doesn't matter, LinkedIn or any other job boards, you will see huge companies hiring for delivery managers. That is Amazon, Google, Accenture, CEE Poland, Deloitte, McKinsey, DXC Poland, these companies, first, they are looking for delivery managers and proposing the following benefits. Social private insurance. There is a possibility to be insured not only for the employee, but also for their team members. Life insurance, contribution to pension, car allowance. Some companies don't provide car as a benefit, social benefit, but employees get the corporate card to cover all expenses related to travels in case these travels occur, especially these travels links to the customer visit. Partially, you can get reimbursement for fuel. If, for example, you are traveling to the office quite often and you are living outside the city, so companies propose to reimburse either tickets or fuel for your car. Right now, due to COVID, the type of work shifted or changed, and more companies propose hybrid type of work. So partially you can work from home, and partially you are going to the office. There is no one regulation in Poland, or maybe you can work 2 days from home, 3 days in the office. As well, you can align with your current employer in the company about your preferences. There is also a possibility to work outside the city where your office is located. In this case, companies propose to reimburse fuel charges in case you are moving to the main office. In terms of salary, depends definitely on the level of delivery manager. If this is entry level, you just become the delivery manager and you don't have sufficient huge experience, you can start talking about from 120 to 140 approximate K per year. I'm talking about the Polish zloty. If you are experienced already at least 5 years as a delivery manager, then you can negotiate from 320 till 440,000 gross in Polish zloty per year. But it's very hard right now to estimate what is the budget of a company. This is like the average market ranges. Depends on the company, depends as well on the benefit each company has. For example, if you see that some companies propose lower base pay, but they include more benefits and also stocks, or shares, then these ranges can shift. If, for example, you see that company doesn't have enough benefits, they don't have they don't reimburse, for example, fuels, you don't have any car, you are not privately insured, then you can make more effort, highlight into increase of your base pay. Here depends on your experience, depends how successfully you pass the interview, your competences. It also depends on the company's benefit they propose. Basically, it's up to you. How skilled you are, how competent you are. To become the delivery manager, there are a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different chances. Just try, fill the competences you need, and try applying to companies. Definitely, you will successfully manage. That is basically all from my hand. Here you will see the link to my LinkedIn. In case you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm very, very happy to support. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.